Detective. Just wanted to check in on our status of our investigation. It's ongoing. What's that supposed to mean? It means what it sounds like, intern. We don't pay you to play 20 questions. I don't get paid at all. Not with that attitude, you won't. Look, I've been on this case for several months, and I just can't seem to find the missing piece. Sir, don't you mean the one piece? Not now, intern. We already used that joke in the anime tropes video. And you just don't get it. We have to find this guy, and we're running out of time. If we can't find him, otherwise this case is going to end up becoming cold. Time for some composition so your attention spans can be satisfied for the duration of this video. Where's Waldo? Not only is it a trademark, it is also a question many scientists, geologists, marine biologists, and even your local dermatologists, and basically any hobby or profession ending with an ist, has pondered this puzzling mystery. Except this one, we don't count this one. Point being, Waldo is hard to find. Here's some backstory. Martin Hanford gave birth to this character in 1987 with the premise of finding this young man named Waldo. At least that's his name here, in Canada as well. The rest of the world calls him something completely different. In Australia, the United Kingdom, Brazil, and Ireland, they call him Wally. In Germany, he's Walter, and in France, he's called Charlie. If I had to guess why he has so many names, it could be because he has forged passports as he passed through these countries. At the moment, we don't have any leads except for one suspect on Waldo's disappearance. His name is Odla. Okay, let's just stop for a second. I don't know who can sit there and have full legal custody of their son and then would think naming their child Odla was a good move. The name sounds like a failed QuickTime event between the parents. And yes, I know his name is basically just backwards, but so is the logic of the biological parents, I'm presuming, for naming someone this way. That's just weird. Besides the point, look, Waldo, this guy has passed through more countries than the pandemic, so finding him is going to be a daunting task, alright? So let's start with the trusty book. According to The Bluff, a very trusted news anchor that I personally use for all my updates about how the world is increasingly getting worse by the minute, has an article basically stating that Waldo, aka Waldo Nowitz Winterbomb. Yeah, I definitely butchered that. You get my point. It's this name. Pretty much, Waldo died around page 28, and the guy I hold responsible for this incurable sin is probably the guy standing worried in the background with a money bag on his back, who has similar characteristics to prime suspect number 1, Odla. Though, me being a well-experienced detective, I can sniff out when the math is indeed not mathing. If you were to get your grubby hands on the actual book, you'll realize that Waldo is seen on every page within the 32-page novel. And honestly, you could jump to two conclusions that can be clearly drawn here. Either Waldo was just taking pictures at different locations at different times, or it's just clones. It's definitely clones. Why would they not be? It would definitely hold up the case of Waldo literally being in every country. And on top of that, I even asked ChatGPT on how many variations of Waldo's name, like in each country, and it gives me a bunch of variations of his name, ranging from the land of the free to Japan, and counting how many characters there are in the various names and everything, like if you were to add up all the different variant names, it amounts to 183, which now means I have another lead. This video of 183 things banned from Fortnite. Their fan base mostly comprised of kids, and Fortnite Battle Royale was created in 2017, and if you add all the numbers in the year, you get 10. And a child being 10 is the maximum age Drake is willing to date. But wait one second, Drake in 2017 was pretty nice. He made the song Forever featuring Eminem, Lil Wayne, and Kanye West. All the artists in the video equals 4 artists in total that made this meat writing song for LeBron. You know what else has 4 letters? Peru. Yeah, you thought I wasn't slick. Yeah, alright. But you have to realize you have to go west of Peru because of Kanye. So you go west and you'll arrive at Australia. And if you really put your thinking caps on, Australia and Waldo kind of rhyme, if you really think about it. Okay, well, if Eminem can rhyme banana and orange together, then you know your boy can rhyme a fictional character with a continent. But hold on, wait a minute. Since Kanye has 5 letters, we have to hop 5 countries of my choosing. Which direction, you may ask? This spin the wheel generator will give us our general direction of where Waldo may be. Okay, well, given our general direction, whichever country we hit first, we have to border hop 5 more countries in the same direction. Okay, the US, Greenland. Since I just realized that if we were to keep going, it would literally just go in a circle, we're gonna have to deflect where we are going. So in short, we're now moving southeast from Greenland to the United Kingdom, to either Belgium or the Netherlands, it doesn't really matter, to Germany. Yeah, we're getting closer, I swear. Let's not forget that the Germans never sent a human into space until 1978, which conveniently enough, the last two numbers are switched from 1987, which is exactly when Martin created Waldo in the first place. But let's not forget at the same time, fellow detectives, Waldo's arch nemesis, Odla, which is the opposite of Waldo, and the two numbers were switched, which means Odla took Waldo's carcass to space, with him considering we found Waldo in a responsive state to that very trustworthy article we just read about. Yeah, okay, apparently he went to space, but honestly, if you were to put on your tinfoil hats, clearly this man was a cover-up for Odla's departure from Earth. RIP, by the way. But anyway, in this astronaut's name, there are exactly 11 letters, 21 if you include his surnames, and assuming Odla has gotten pretty far considering the story was banned nearly 2 years after its release, the only real distance Odla can make from escaping the hammer of justice would have to be in light years, you feel me? Well, after doing my research, I have uncovered an article stating that NASA in 2023 discovered a hidden galaxy 11 million light years away. Are you starting to connect the dots here? You start to see what I'm saying? It is the math starting to math. This galaxy is clearly a fake galaxy created by Odla to deceive us. And quite honestly, I have to give him credit. If I wanted to leave a crime scene without being spotted, I too would create a whole galaxy far away enough to make my trail run cold. But I'm getting sidetracked here. If you remember earlier, I said 11 if you count Sigmund's first and last name, but 21 if you count his surnames. And it becomes very obvious where Odla is hiding. The Republic of Congo. But wait a minute, the Republic of Congo only has 18 letters. True, but look right here, the Republic of the Congo, which is 21 letters. You know, it's pretty neat. Don't forget that I am legally allowed to vote for a president this year. Okay, anyways, I'm almost positive Waldo's remains lay waste somewhere in the Republic because the plot demands so, and apparently Google says I'm approximately 1 day and 11 hours away from Congo. Coincidence? I think not, because if you take the numbers from the flight time and glue them together, you get 111. In astrology, it means growth and enlightenment, something nor the viewer or the YouTuber have obtained throughout the duration of this video. And before you ask, no, this has no contextual value pertaining to my confusing story on a child's book, and no, I'm not an astrologist. I have a whole video bashing it. And before you ask, yes, this is canon. Also, this video is getting too long for my liking, and yeah, I just want to get it over with, so we're just going to continue on. So I'm just going to shorten the conclusion to reduce my chances of being admitted into a psych ward, kind of like how Promised Neverland butchered their second season. Long story short, Odla joins the Rastels, a notorious gang that runs rampant across Congo. Later on, he finds a way to resurrect Waldo using Congo magic, which is just the safe word for plot device because we need him back in order to move the narrative forward. Waldo and Odla team up to overthrow the Congolese government and succeed. Waldo becomes the supreme ruler of Congo with Odla as his right-hand man. Later, Waldo finds out that he has a very rare genetic disease that will render him a breathing vegetable in a few years. And upon knowing this, Waldo starts to ramp up the violence in Congo, putting up the Mao Zedong-like numbers by killing more people than Congo is able to reproduce per capita. Odla, after some time, contests Waldo his supremacy and overall oppressive nature over Congo by asking if he's the strongest because he's Waldo, or is he Waldo because he's the strongest. They fight. The fight ends up in space because Congo magic again. While up there, they look at the earth and realize that it's actually an equilateral triangle and not like an imperfect spear. They both die by plunging into the earth at the speed of exactly 1 mile over the speed of light. The world explodes because both of their deaths amount to the same temperature of 10 supernovas going off. But what's really cool is the explosions go off at the same tempo as the song Get Lucky by Daft Punk featuring Pharrell Williams and Nile Rodgers. But don't worry, somewhere in a galaxy far, far away, a mediocre spin-off continues as a bunch of new characters that weren't even related to the original characters are now basically leeching off of the title rather than adding on to the original material shown. The main character in question is a multicolored benevolent being, and their sidekick is a fish that consistently flops around like he's out of water. And yes, it's a running gag of the show that gets old after the second season. And yes, this divides the fandom harder than my country. The show also gets a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, but on Google reviews it gets a bunch of troll 5 stars. Alright, anyway, that's all I have. Matter of fact, that's all I'm gonna give, and I'm gonna see fine people next time. Peace.